Ladies and gentlemen, this is TVP World. You're watching another edition of Break the Fake, where we debunk fake news and combat false narratives. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee, and let's get rolling. Now, if anyone still believes Russia's main national show is Intervision, think again. The real performances happen in courtrooms across the country. The Russian Federation's judicial department just dropped its 2024 stats. And boy, it reads like a dystopian leaderboard. Now, there have been so many convictions you think that the judges were being paid per sentence. Back in 2022, there were just 16 convictions for treason. In 2024, 145. Now, that's a ninefold jump, which means in today's Russia, treason includes everything from chatting with a friend in Warsaw to streaming Netflix using VPN. 70 people were sentenced to 10 to 15 years in prison. Now, just to put that in perspective, in Europe, that's enough time to get a PhD, change careers, raise a child from a toddler to a teenager. In Russia, it's a prison term for watching the wrong video. And let's talk posts, not job posts, social media posts. In 2024, there were 82 public discreditation cases, 6 times more than just 3 years ago. Journalist Roman Ivanov got 7 years for 3 Facebook posts. That's over 2 years per post. Meanwhile, 34 people received 5 to 8 year sentences under the same article. The judges must have a royalty-based pricing scheme. Repost, 3 years. Original thought, 10. Oh, and by the way, theater is now also a state enemy. The go-to charge for artists? Justification of terrorism. A director and playwright were each sentenced to more than 5 years over the play Finished of Bright Falcon. Anywhere else, producing plays gets you a stage of war, but in Russia, it gets you jailed. Turns out, in Putin's empire, fiction is more dangerous than firepower, especially if it rhymes. These stats confirm what we already know. While courts in other countries deal with actual criminals, Russian judges are busy putting citizens on trial for Wi-Fi usage and creative endeavors. In fact, things are moving so fast, it's only a matter of time before asking, "Where's the gasoline?" becomes an act of sabotage against the energy sovereignty of the Russian Federation. Now, in the same studio that once praised the Brotherhood of Nations, Vladimir Solovyov has now fully shifted into warlord mode. With veins popping out his head, he declared, "To hell with them, we'll crush them." Not metaphorically, he was talking about NATO aircraft. Once again, Russian state TV casually moonwalks into World War III like it's just another Tuesday segment.
Вот что сказал Трамп? Вдуматься, страны НАТО должны сбивать российские самолеты, если те зайдут в воздушное пространство Альянса. Но ведь это работает в обе стороны. Это значит, что если появляются самолеты-разведчики в нашем воздушном пространстве, например, Крым, хана им, будем мочить. Это значит, теперь кто-то залетит, ребята, не обессудьте. Поэтому нам-то есть чем их мочить. А вот чем Польша собирается сбивать наши самолеты, ну, после того, как они расправились с беспилотниками, даже боюсь себе представить, чем и как.
Now, by throwing around threats to destroy NATO planes, Solovyov is stoking his audience's most volatile instincts: fear, rage, and the seductive simplicity of us versus them. But here's the thing, this isn't some war game or late-night argument. Threatening to shoot down NATO aircraft could lead to actual escalation. Radar lock-ons, retaliatory strikes, or worse. There are millions of people flying, working, or simply existing in airspace that could become a flashpoint because one overpaid propagandist wanted ratings. And the danger goes beyond Solovyov's barking. When this kind of rhetoric becomes routine on Russian airwaves, it starts shaping public expectations and policy. One day it's yapping on TV, the next it's doctrine. And the scariest part, you don't know who's listening. A rogue commander, a trigger-happy pilot, or someone just desperate enough to impress the Kremlin. In Ukraine today, the line between those who love life and those who treat war as theater has never been clearer. Ukrainians are defending homes, evacuating children, and rebuilding what they can between air raids. For them, war isn't a set piece, it's real, it's personal, and every minute is measured in human lives, not headlines. Meanwhile, some Russian soldiers have turned the front line into a grotesque performance. They film themselves posing with weapons, staging content, and in perhaps the darkest twist, selling footage of body parts for $2,200 a pop. In their hands, war isn't horror, it's hustle. It's likes, shares, and dirty money.
Не, я вот думаю все вот подписать контракт, вот думаю, там новогодние праздники отмечу. Во-первых, это очень здорово служить по контракту. Ну и во-вторых, вы можете спокойно убивать людей, при этом то, что вы воюете за свою Россию, как бы. Вам никто это ничего не сделает, не посадят вас. Ну и большой плюс то, что можно на СВО ловить, допустим, вот как их там называют, нацисты. И также можно над ними издеваться, ставить на колени, отрезать. Это очень хорошо, это даже придает как-то усилия, как-то, не знаю, гордость тебе, что ли. А тебе еще плюс за это платят деньги 204 тысячи.
Вы были бы готовы отправиться?
Ну, ради такого, да. Ради такого получать еще деньги, убивая людей. Как бы, вроде это неплохо, как бы, с одной стороны. Добро должно всегда побеждать зло. Ну, как бы, да, я бы согласен был бы на такое пойти бы.
And this isn't just about one deranged soldier, it's an entire ecosystem. From propagandists to war bloggers, the Kremlin's machine profits off blood and spectacle. While Ukrainians fight to survive, Russia's influencer battalion wages war for clicks. In the end, this conflict isn't just about territory, it's a brutal referendum on moral choice. Vladimir Putin has once again decided to delight the world with this unique gift for rewriting history in a way that even Google's confused. Now, this time he claimed that the Soviet nuclear energy program began in 1942.
Дорогие друзья, наша встреча, глобальный атомный форум, приурочена сразу к двум знаменательным датам. Это празднуемое в текущем году 80-летие отечественной атомной отрасли, а также День работника атомной промышленности, который ежегодно отмечается в нашей стране 28 сентября. Напомню, вот мы с коллегами только что говорили об этом, повторяю еще раз, и хотел бы сказать и в таком более широком составе. Первое решение в Советском Союзе по развитию атомной энергетики состоялось 28 сентября 1942 года, когда шла Отечественная война, и еще не были известны результаты самого, может быть, драматического периода Великой Отечественной войны. Шла Сталинградская битва. Битва за Сталинград. Она не закончилась. А Государственный комитет обороны принял решение об организации работ по урану.
Now, just one small hitch. September 28, 1942 had nothing to do with powering homes or boiling tea. It was about building a uranium bomb. There were no nuclear plants, no clean energy slogans, just a race to develop weapons. But in Putin's universe, the Soviet Union was basically installing reactors while dodging air raids. The goal, as always, is simple: distract the public from life in present-day Russia, which is running out of fuel literally and figuratively. When your country has no economy, no peace, and no prospects, the best fallback is to pull out your personal history book and pretend the past was brighter than the blackout. And with that, we conclude this edition of Break the Fake. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.